to TV. I'm your host. I'm Mark Helvaleo. And for our video for today, we're going to answer the questions on how to install a Kubernetes. But we're going to use Minikube for our installing of Minikube for our installing of Kubernetes. But maybe we can create maybe we can also create a tutorial on how to install Kubernetes aside from Minikube. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead. So of course, if you're going to create a cluster from your Kubernetes, you have a lot of resources to use. Okay, so we're still going to use our AWS. So if you if still using virtual box or any hypervisor for our tutorial, you can also follow this tutorial. Okay, but for me right now, I'm using AWS for my cloud servicing. Of course, I already created my own node right now. This is typically on my own server. So this is Ubuntu server, and yeah, but I created an instances from my EC2. I make sure that I use not a T2 micro, but a bigger resources that we need. So I use this T2 medium for our tutorial. But of course, if you're going to use this T2 medium, it will cost you on this one. But we're going to remove this right away after after we finish our tutorial. Okay, so this is it. We have our node. We have to connect our instances using here, and then copy this one. Okay, since I've already here in my folder pointing to my key pair, so I will install it right away. I will connect it again. Okay, yes. Okay, so what we're going to do right now, I can also share this script to you guys. My repo to you guys on how to install my Minikubes. So this is very detailed, guys. I make it to you guys, but I also attach it as a bash script here for us to we can also install it by script. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is step one. We need to package. Every time you have your you have your fresh installed server or node, you need to update, especially no matter it is different kernel is that you have, maybe your RPM from the Red Hat or in Debian, or specifically for the Ubuntu or the Debian. Yeah, Debian. So you need to update it. Okay, update it. Okay. After we update it, the next one is we need to install the package. Okay, the package that we need to use for our Kubernetes. Okay, very simple. I create already a step to you guys and command how to install, and then the Docker. Okay, you can also use our Docker engine here, our Docker documentations to install our different variety of Linux. So if for my and I use it Debian, Ubuntu I mean. So we have here, okay. So I can also use this one, okay, instead of this one. Still the same, okay. We need to accept it for our VirtualBox because Docker can also, they also use a VirtualBox aside from your yeah, it's also used by Kubernetes when you are going to run some certain driver, like if you're going to use the Docker for by default, or you can also use driver none. So you can also check the our Kubernetes installations here, or Minikube. Yeah, Minikube. I think Minikube. Okay, what is Minikube? Do I have Minikube? Okay. So you can also check this one. If you notice, if you're going to install a Minikube, there's a certain that you need to use, or you can switch any of the drivers like none. So I forgot where is that, because I know we have here the installations, but nonetheless that we're going that's the purpose we're going to approve that VirtualBox. So okay, so going back here, what we're going to do is to paste and install the, of course, the Docker CE, the Docker itself. So we have a lot of repository on installing the Docker by getting this one. Okay, let's install. Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe we can also use Docker IO, I think. Okay. Oh, no CE. Wait, I forgot to install. Oh, I see. We don't have. We have already. I think I forgot any of the. I think we didn't finish, or I can again, guys. I can update the repo on here, but basically, if you're going to install properly the Docker, you can use this one. Okay, sorry for that, guys. So maybe I forgot to do that. Forgot to update it. I think there's a step that I forgot to put there. Okay, so after that we're going to, yeah, you notice we didn't put an official GP for this one in order for us to install the Docker. Okay, and on the repo. Okay, so I can also update that, guys, in my repo. Okay, so now that we have already a repository and a GPG key for validations of this repository, we are going to update again. Okay, going to update again. We already done, and then install the Docker. Okay, let's say yes. Okay, and then since we already done this step, we're going to check if our Docker is installed. Okay, let's check. this one, enable. But of course, here in Ubuntu, I know that the Docker services by default it's open, always open. We need to use this command so that this permission for us that we will not encounter any error from our Docker socket. Okay, so what we're going to do, of course, I think my repo is not updated. Maybe we can also check this one for reference for DigitalOcean on how to install the Docker. Okay, so if you're going to check if our Docker is running, okay, so it's running right now. In order for us that we didn't want to type any sudo to Docker, because the Docker is owned by our root. So what we're going to do here is to add our user in a Docker, okay, group. Okay, what we're going to do is here to avoid using sudo every time that we're going to use the Docker command. Okay, paste it. Okay, so what is the meaning of this is you need the user command of user mode and add a group from the Docker, and then your user is Ubuntu. Okay, so what we're going, so since our Ubuntu don't have password yet, I'm going to provide an password. Okay, oops, pass. Okay, put it again for second time, my password, and then switch from my for my Ubuntu password, Ubuntu user. Okay, gone through. So let's double check if our Docker is here. Yep. And then we need to use again this command, add command, but right now we're going to, you see, this is the default users that we use, Ubuntu. Okay, so that the Docker will, by the time you type Docker from this one, so we don't need to use all the time the sudo. Okay, so we're all set with our Docker. What we're going to do right now is to install the Minikube. Okay, this is the command of Minikube. Okay, okay, okay. So what we're going to do is to put our binary Minikube from our user local bin. Okay, the next step you need to do is to make it executable, the Minikube. Okay, so if you're going to Minikube, okay, version, so it's already running. Okay, we're going to, of course, we're going to install the very important aspect tools from our Kubernetes is the kubectl or kubectl. Okay, let's install that. Okay, make it executable. Okay, and then move this kubectl again to our local bin. Okay, or local binary. Okay, and then let's check if our cube versions kubectl is already working. Yep, so it's working, but we do have a problem here, but it's still working. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is start the Minikube. Okay, so let me check again what I'm trying to say to you guys about how to install Minikube. Installation. Okay, start. So like I said to you guys, if you're going to install a Kubernetes, you use a lot of resources like 2 CPUs, 2 GBs of memory, 20 GB of free disk. Okay, so the installation is still here. So the cluster here, no, we have to start. If you're going to start the cluster, this is the command. All right, but we can also use this one, or we can also check this driver. So there's a couple of driver that Minikube use here: the Docker, the KVM, virtual, okay, QEMU, okay, the bare metal. Okay, so there's a lot here. Okay, so since our installation is for starting a Minikube is by default it's Docker. Okay, if you can see here, the default here is prepared as Docker. Okay, I'm going to start. So maybe we need to pause for a while, and let's return after the installations or the start of Minikube. Right, I think the Minikube is already started, so let's check again the status of Minikube. If it is successful, let's start. There you go, it's running and well configured. Okay, so if you're going to check this one, so no error again because we already run our cluster. Okay, so I hope that this video very helpful to you guys on how to install a Kubernetes by leveraging our Minikube. Okay, so I hope that I'll see you in the next video. God bless.